last year in November, I don't think you were there in San Diego, but I had a class on 2012, it was C 2012. And I said, one of the main questions that kept on going through the whole seminar was, what happens with terrorists? We're really terrified of terrorists. And at that time, it was November 5th or something. And I said, well, you don't need to be worrying about, Al-Qaeda. You have to be worrying more about North and South Korea. And what happened 2 weeks later? North Korea decides to start volleying a few bombs over across. They are far more of a volatile situation facing the Earth and all the other countries than we are facing here in terrorists. Yes, I will tell you now there is going to be terrorist action, but it's going to be localized. It's going to be from small groups. One thing major here, and it's already manifested and started happening, is that with Osama Bin Laden, he actually, nice move. What happened is there are going to be three main leaders coming forth from this death, okay? The one that Osama actually nominated and put forward, I can't remember his name, but the guy who's Egyptian, I knew immediately is going to be lost. He has no charisma, he has no magnetism, and this is what I kept on seeing, and sure enough it got confirmed within the last 48 hours that this guy has no relations or ties with proper Al-Qaeda in real, the hardliners. They have no, Egyptians for some reason, with Al-Qaeda don't have any respect. But anyway, he's a scientist. He's actually a chemical engineer or something. And he only strategizes. He's an operations guy. So he really doesn't have anything on a group to kind of, how can I say this? Sorry, comes in taste sometimes. Give me a second. It actually is going to be more dangerous for the three that are going to supersede him. And these are three different factions. One is the hardest line. I'm going to put more in the details in the book, but one's a real hard line, and all he wants to do is kill, okay? And in mass destruction. He's going to be the one to be watching for. But they know not to infiltrate America. I hate to say this, anybody watching who's got troops or family, U.S., who are obviously U.S. families in other countries, please be warned, because that's where they're going to strike. They're going to literally, to their detriment, not only the troops, but it's really the families they're going to be doing, and also for the, the diplomats, people like that, they're going to be kidnapping and brutally, and I'm not going to go into that, but basically that's where the real reaction's going to be. Now, you don't be surprised in the next 5 to 6 weeks, if not 5 to 6 months, it's going to be dead quiet. You're going to have these isolated attacks from young guys, not the real three. I'm calling them the triad. But basically you're going to see isolated attacks from only young people. But after that, they're planning something big. Okay? Right about November, I'm seeing at Thanksgiving, not Christmas, but Thanksgiving, that I will see that something is going to happen. All right? And it's not going to be 9/11. I mean, not the towers. I was there for the First World Trade Center. And it won't be LAX. They're not going to do obvious targets, by the way. And this is why we have to think on a different level. Now, when I grew up in England, we had terrorist action from IRA, and it was nothing. Oh, there was a bomb on the train. Oh, okay, all right. And it sounds awful to say it like that you're so used to it, but please be aware of your surroundings. And if you feel, and these are the people with this who I'm talking to on the YouTube too, that have good instincts and are spiritually aware, if something's telling you don't get on the plane, or don't, get on this train or bus or whatever, or go that way, trust it, trust your guides. And this is part of this shift that's coming in, is that your, senses, the dimensional shifts, are actually our senses going. What I'm having at a certain intensity, you're all getting distributed with it too. Okay, so the shifts are going to be marked. There are every 5. This is controversial, but it's either 20 to 60,000. I believe it's really nearer 50. 5 to 60,000 years, the polar shift becomes the north shift. The North Pole becomes a South Pole. South Pole becomes a North Pole. We're in it now. Why do you think the Ring of Fire is becoming more active? Did you know that because of the Japanese, which I did a long time ago, but the Japanese earthquake shifted and created 13 feet of landmass towards America. And you don't think America, the northern plate is going to get affected? Come on, get real. It's already being affected, and if you go to USGS, and by the way, do not listen and believe a word I'm telling you, all right? Because it is up to you, the individual, to go research this, not to believe anything and everything I say. No, I don't want you to, and I'll put that in the book too. You have to start researching this on your own. So go to USGS, and it's showing that Texas is having more earthquakes, okay? Minor ones, somewhat, but you'll see that, as I said, that about a year and a half ago, is it 2 years ago, that I said that the earthquake is going to down in San Diego, right? San Diego, and it's going to start moving up, and sure enough, you start looking at all the little hits, they're coming in, and Long Beach is around about that time too. It's going to get hit, and it's coming in. I'm not going to set a date.
The earthquakes?
Earthquakes.
Okay, well that's wonderful, that's close to me.
Sorry, but
Where will the worst one be from Orange County, where we are
I'm
here?
not going to tell you, because I got slammed and hit for the
I know you mentioned once before one that you thought there might be.
Yes.
And that starts with G, you won't say it.
Yeah, no. But, that big one, okay, we'll go and,
That'd be a bigger one.
you were in the last lecture, right?
I think it
You
was
came in the last
as
one.
well.
Okay, what I did mention, and I wasn't going to bring it up, but these are shifts, and this is in the future. And quite frankly, I can't give you where it's going to be. It's somewhere in the States, okay? And it's going to be a massive devastation, okay? It's practically going to be at ground level, all right, that city. But what's going to happen from that, and I know obviously there's going to be a lot of lives lost, but basically why I mentioned that one is we're going to use that, the powers that be, and this is in the future, they're going to use that as a test city. They're going to recreate it as a future city. With all the new technologies, I've mentioned some of the new technologies, I can't give you all the details because they're going to start, they're going to jump the gun. And there's certain things called light technology, which I'll go into, and I'm not going to go in here. But they're going to create this as a new city with all the brand new technologies. And it'll be kind of not exactly a beacon, but a light to see that everything else is going to change into that. And it's going to be far more modern. I'm not talking about technology, but being sensitive to the earth. The earth is going through a terraformer. You know what that means. It's renewing, it's changing.
So are you saying that our government's going to attack the city just so they can build
No,
a renewal? I don't quite
I didn't
understand
say,
what you're saying.
no,
Okay.
the government is not going to do that.
But you said they. I don't
No,
know.
they as in not spirit, but the earth is going to reformulate, and with that there's going to be subsequent actions to it. In other words, earthquakes, when you push one end, the tectonic plates have to have a release.
Oh, I see, you're talking about that. Okay.
Yeah, so it is going to be something that's going to, I won't tell you when, but it's going to happen in the future. And I did go into a future, quite a few chapters in the future, because I believe that you, like a visualization, you have to know that you're going to survive. I do not believe that we're on whatever they said, November or December 27th, you might as well, don't even bother to write your will because there's not going to be a planet to be on. And if I'm wrong, I guess I'm going to be okay because I'll be on the other side by then, and I won't be hit for the YouTubes. But basically, I don't really see it. And anybody who's had a reading here, have I been accurate with your readings? Right. So I'm saying, don't start worrying about, all these stupid. No, I shouldn't say stupid, but all these 2012 Hollywood versions of it. Yes, there are, to a certain degree, like about 5% degree, that is going to change the world. We are going to experience earthquakes, more earthquakes, and tsunamis. I won't tell you where, but
East Coast, West Coast.
not so much East Coast, but West Coast. If you go to, I was going to bring there's a separate
We're due.
Bridgeport.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there are two things going on there. It's Seattle I would be worried about. Seattle is due, well overdue,
Yeah.
quite frankly, and that's going to be one of the hits. And it's on a what they call a liquefaction plate, and so that's we are in Long Beach too, but it's not as bad as say Seattle.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay?
There's supposed to be another one on the East Coast due to the Canary Islands up there, another little
A
palm or
shift.
something.
Yeah, well, remember, everything has cause and effect. Everything with a reaction has an equal
Right. 'Cause
reaction. Okay, but, so,
When you say, like, there's things you can